We are staring down one of the most pressing challenges of the 21st century, feeding a human population rapidly scaling into the billions. For decades, the accepted solution has been a simple equation of volume. The prevailing logic dictates that eradicating global hunger requires maximizing crop yields at all costs, heavily subsidizing the dirt with synthetic inputs to force more growth. We see this brute force approach in action. Massive chemical sprayers blanket identical crop rows, artificially stimulating growth to pull maximum volume from the earth. But the math is failing. Despite generating record-breaking crop volumes globally year after year, this chemically intensive methodology leaves billions malnourished. People are starving right outside full grain silos. Global hunger is a direct outcome of a broken agricultural architecture. Even record-breaking harvests cannot overcome a system built on these flawed foundations. Agricultural researcher Aman U Chaudhry diagnosed this exact disconnect. In his 2005 and 2006 publications, he reframed the conversation by separating hunger into two distinct measurable failures. The first failure is ecological. Overfarming and a heavy reliance on synthetics cause severe environmental degradation. Instead of securing more food, we are actively depleting our resources and pushing back actual agricultural growth. The physical reality of this resource depletion is written directly into the soil. Once the artificial inputs wash away, you are left with hostile, cracked earth, completely stripped of its natural biological machinery. The second failure is economic. Crippling rural poverty means that the farmers actually growing the food are trapped by tight margins. No matter how much they produce for global export, they lack the capital to feed their own local communities. You cannot build an agricultural production powerhouse if the land you rely on is dying, and the people working that land are starving. This brings us to organic farming. Look past the premium grocery store labels. At a structural level, organic farming operates as a large-scale, hard science intervention designed specifically to halt these converging crises. Instead of simply extracting from the ground, organic methods target resource depletion directly. They actively rebuild soil salinity and restore biodiversity, treating the earth as a renewable asset that requires consistent biological investment. This diagram shows the biology at the root level. Synthetic fertilizers offer a quick spike, but rapidly leach out of the porous soil. Organic matter physically bonds with root systems to lock in moisture and distribute nutrients. When you utilize organic crop residue, you create a closed-loop bioenergy system. The harvest remnants return to the grid, feeding the soil's physical structure rather than stripping it bare. Chaudhry's consultancy data proves this works at scale, outlining extensive implementation across massive outdoor commercial vegetable nurseries and vast districts of organic flower production. By engineering the soil to act as a self-renewing biological asset, organic farming halts ecological decline and secures a sustainable, long-term food supply. But fixing the dirt only addresses the first crisis. We still have to solve the collapse of rural livelihoods. The current global agricultural market traps rural farmers in a cycle of compounding debt and incredibly thin margins, engineering systemic financial failure. The economic fix lies in a strategy Chaudhry calls higher-value organics. The logic is anchored in market value. Organic crops command higher prices at export, which redirects a larger share of global capital back into the rural villages where the food originated. This localized capital injection drives homegrown development. When communities have financial leverage, village-level local bodies can negotiate, govern their resources, and build vital infrastructure. Strategic tools like organic contract farming establish direct, pre-negotiated purchase agreements between the grower and the investor. By locking in prices and transparency at the source, these contracts remove the layers of local middlemen who typically strip away the farmer's profit. This shifts the profit margin back to the field. Rural farmers retain enough of their own earnings to build the purchasing power they need to buy and secure their own food supply. The higher price point of organic food provides the capital that allows farmers to outpace poverty and afford to eat. Combining these environmental and economic resolutions creates a complete structural solution to modern food security. This flowchart illustrates the cycle. Higher crop values increase farmer wealth, funding organic soil inputs. These inputs build biological resilience, guaranteeing the next yield. This self-sustaining loop ensures communities can secure meals today, while keeping the land fertile for tomorrow. Eliminating poverty and protecting biodiversity are the strict, non-negotiable prerequisites for ending global hunger. Which brings us back to our opening question. How does a nation actually become an agricultural production powerhouse in the 21st century? We have to stop measuring success by the sheer, short-term volume of chemically induced crops stacked in a warehouse. Solving global hunger demands a system that values the biological longevity of the earth and the financial prosperity of the farmer above all else. That makes organic agriculture our most pragmatic path forward.